All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. You ready for some high-speed action tonight? Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. We're at New Hampshire Motor Speedway tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator, and we've got a good one here for you tonight. It's the Buschwackers series. We are at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for 120 laps. Race number 3 of the season. This flat short track, 1 mile, the miracle mile they call it. Tough on tires, tough on nerves. Who's got what it takes to take home the victory? Well, the Buschwackers series tackling the concrete miracle mile in New Hampshire. There's only one way to find out who's going to win this race, baby, and that is hang out right here on TurnLeftTV. All right, hey, thank you so much for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Got a little bit of a snafu going here right now. Looks like I got some dropped frames here. Hopefully that improves. We are in the qualification session, and again, run a little bit behind here tonight. And again, thank you so much for coming in. I'm your host, Heath Johnson. Appreciate you being here tonight, and hopefully you got a little patience because it looks like some internet connection issues tonight. As I look down at the stream feed, it says drop frames, and we've got quite a few right now, so might be the internet connection tonight. Everybody's home on the weekend, maybe, because it's cold here in the Midwest. But hey, thanks for coming in. Please hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you're here, and then don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Also, help me out by clicking on the links down on the banner of the channel and down in the description of the race, I should say, and follow those over to the Fanatec website and help me out here at TurnLeftTV. Peace to everybody out there. Hope everybody's being cool to one another. And we are gearing up for the holiday next week here in the United States. Thanksgiving, I'll have some time off. I'm happy about that. But again, thanks for coming in. Appreciate everybody out here tonight. And good luck to the drivers. Should be a great race here at New Hampshire. Take a look at Givaldo Spindola as he makes his qualification attempt. Tonight's race brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're wanting an rFactor 2 server or some WordPress hosting, online store hosting, VPS hosting, and shared web hosting, give EliteHostingUSA.com a look. 3 self-managed rFactor 2 server packages for you to choose from. That's EliteHostingUSA.com, and they also provide our website and help me out with, authoring the website and so forth. Well, I appreciate that. You can also get a hold of us through our website, highoctaneracing.net, by joining us on Discord by clicking on the button down to that right-hand side. So please head on over there and help us out. So hopefully a little bit of an improvement here as far as the internet connection is concerned. So it looks like it is somewhat, but we're still having some few little bugs there, but Looks like Colin Madiak, the top time here in the qualification session. Take a look at the qualification results. Whoa, that ain't right. So it looks like the session's still technically in, everybody's finished the qualification session, but looks like it's still in. There's about 5 minutes left there, so I got a little ahead of myself, man. There you go, you can see the list so far. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, commentator, broadcaster. This is New Hampshire Motor Speedway, located in Loudon, New Hampshire. 120 laps here tonight. Race 3. Just a little over a mile in length. And, man, this thing is tough. So really, for me, one of the more challenging tracks, that oval tracks. Concrete, tough on tires, got to be patient through the turn. It's like that turn just keeps on going and going and going and going and going before you get back on that straight. You get a lot of speed down the straightaways, but really, really pretty slow and tough turns. Going to manage that by being patient. Saturday Night Thunder will be back in action for race number 1 of the season. New season headed your way. Earlier time, so practice starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the race starts at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we've moved everything up an hour, so to try to get some, more participation, get some guys that don't want to stay up all night, and also to help accommodate, most importantly, to help accommodate our Brazilian brothers who. With our change in time here, they're moving into their late spring, moving into summer. And the time difference is a little greater, so we're trying to help those guys out. So Daytona International coming up in the Saturday Night Thunder tomorrow at 8:15 p.m. Givaldo joining us in the chat session here. So thanks, Givaldo. I really appreciate that. Good luck to him tonight. He says good luck to all the drivers, and he wishes a great broadcast here. Well, we got a broadcast going on. I don't know how great it is, but we've got a broadcast going on. So we got about 2 minutes left here in the qualification session, and we'll give you the results. Take a look at the results from last week. Colin Madiak got the big win there. What an interesting race it was, man. He just kind of weaved his way up through the field and ran away there at the end. So congratulations to Colin Madiak. Little fuel mileage strategy there. Got a huge win. Congratulations, man. Lucas Oil Raceway, Colin Madiak with the 13 car back to his winning ways as we try to take a screenshot. So congratulations to Colin Madiak. As we watch the shader issue. That was a nice one, wasn't it? In the old UI. It looks like that is the conclusion of the qualification session. There we go. Colin Madiak, top time, 29.314. Craig Marazon in the 3X. Good to see Craig out here. He needs to get a car set, doesn't he? 29.638. Starts in P2. Paul Brown starts in the 3rd position in the 77 car. Preston Hassel will start 4th. Todd Robillard in the 90 starts in the 5th position. John Stanley starts in 6th. Zach Munkasey starts in the 7th position in that 29 car. Givaldo Spindola in the 8th position. And qualifying in 9th is Christian Wilson, and I think Claudio Bardelli Jr. will be in here in the 10th position when he gets in. So we're now in the warm-up session. We'll take a look at the schedule here in the Buschwackers series. First, we're at New Hampshire tonight. It says 98 laps. We're actually doing 120. I failed to change that. Texas Motor Speedway coming up next week. That is 98 laps on November the 26th. Dover, the Monster Mile, 125 laps on there on December the 3rd. See Martinsville, some short track action, 150 laps on December the 10th. That'll be a tough one. Pocono Raceway on the 17th. Should be a good one there, 70 laps at our tricky triangle. And then off for Christmas. Merry Christmas there. Talladega Super Speedway on December the 31st. Hopefully everybody's going to be sober on that one. Homestead Miami Speedway coming up on January the 7th and finishing out the season at Kentucky Speedway on the 14th. So that's the schedule coming up here in the Buschwacker Series. We'll take a look at the the Saturday Night Thunder Series course kicking off the season tomorrow night at Daytona, an 80-lap race. And here is the season schedule. Hot off the presses. Daytona kicking it off. You see Homestead, Miami, Bristol coming up on December the 4th. Atlanta Motor Speedway on the 11th of December. Another great track. Nashville Super Speedway. Apollo Chachalowski track, man. He's in here tonight. Good to see Paulo. And then off for Merry Christmas, man. Kentucky Speedway coming out on January the 1st. Everybody's going to be hung over on that Kentucky whiskey. Pocono Raceway on January the 8th. You see Dover the 15th. Gateway Raceway on January the 22nd. And then Talladega Super Speedway to finish out the season on January the 29th. about 5 minutes left here in the warm-up session, and I think we may end up extending it just a little bit to try to get Claudio Bardelli Jr. in here. He had his trouble joining the race here tonight. Everything's all right. I know it sounds like I probably fell off something. I'm good. So good to see the world-famous Paolo Chachalowski joining us in the chat session as well. How about that, huh? Man, I feel blessed. Paulo, Team Cha-Cha, great friend. He does a great job contributing to the sim racing community here in rFactor 2. It's all his work, so runs a great league as well. And spent a little time with us here in the chat session, watching tonight. We got about a minute left here in the warm-up session. So we're going to do a little reset of warm-up here just to see if we can't get Claudio in here. So it's 120 laps here, and we're waiting on Claudio to try to get back in. He's having some trouble here. I think not sure what's going on there. Hopefully he's made his adjustments. I know my internet connection is not that great tonight, 4.5% on the dropped frames, so that's, at least it's better than it was, because I continue to get a little bit better. We're still waiting on Claudio. But, thanks for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, and we are at New Hampshire tonight. All right, looks like we're getting ready to go to race here, so all right, here we go, boys and girls. This is New Hampshire tonight. The starting order here tonight. Colin Madiak in the 13 starts in P1. Craig Marizon in the 3X is second. Paul Brown starts in the third position. Preston Hassel starts in fourth. Starting in the fifth position, Todd Robillard in the 90. John Stanley in the 12 car starts in sixth. Zach Buncasey in the 29 starts seventh. Givaldo Spindola starts in the eighth position. Christian Wilson starts in ninth in the 30 car. So the 13 is going to lead the field here to take the green flag. Starts in P1. Craig Marizon in his first race out this season. 3X car starts in second. Good to see Craig Marizon out. Paul Brown's going to start in that third position. You see Preston Hassel starts fourth. Robillard in fifth. Stanley sixth. Tough track here tonight. 120 laps. Pace car is off. Here we go. Green flag here at New Hampshire. Madiak into the inside, man. You got to really take care of those tires, man. Tough on tires is this track. Marizon up on the outside line, not giving Madiak the room he needs to be able to drift up there and take the spot. Fighting back on that high side. This is the 3X machine, and it looks like that high side may end up winning out here. We'll see. But Craig Marizon now takes the lead in the 3X machine. Looking at the back of Craig Marizon's machine at Colin Madiak. Preston Hassel just behind in the third position. Colin Madiak in the 13 car, one of our Ohio drivers. Running in P2. Had a big win last week at Lucas Oil. Can he make it two in a row? He's going to have some work to do. Tough track, tough on tires. Got to be patient. You know, Colin can be a little aggressive, and I tell you, this track is going to reach out and bite you if you get too aggressive. Madiak takes the race lead. He gets by on the high side, so Marizon kind of waved by, lets him go. So Kyle Madiak back to the race lead. Take a look at Preston Hassler in the 27 car. It's a home track for him. AMD Ryzen sponsored machine right now running in the 3rd position. Paul Brown running in 4th. Robillard is in 5th. Take a look at the 77 of Paul Brown running in P4. Nose to tail right now. Everybody sort of being patient, taking care of those tires, thinking about long runs here. You're going to have long green flag runs here. We might be caution free. Who knows? Last week's race, Lucas Oil, very interesting race. And we went caution free. Robillard in the 90 car, running in the 5th position. And Freightliner sponsor machine. Good to see Zachman Casey out here. He's running in P6, the 29 car. He streams from his cockpit on Twitch. Right now running in P6. John Stanley behind him in the 7th position here, on board with John Stanley. As we see Christian Wilson there getting into the fence. Take a look at Christian Wilson here in that number 30 car, running in the 8th position. Hey, wow, man, John Stanley starting a little pressure on Zach Buncasey. Stanley looking down on the low side here. He's starting to put a little pressure on Buncasey here. This is for the 6th position. The 12 and the 29 battling it out. We'll take a look at this 29 car. He's trying to figure out a way to hold off that 12. And that 12 down below him now. Side by side. Outside line, inside line. Which is the one going to win out on this one? That 29 car holds on to that spot. But John Stanley starting to put a little pressure here. That diehard sponsored number 12. Those guys fighting it out and losing some distance on that front pack. Stanley backs off, cooling those tires off. Madiak continuing to lead. Marizon is in 2nd. Hassel 3rd. Paul Brown in 4th. Todd Robillard in 5th. Take a look at Craig Marizon in the 3X machine. Running in the 2nd position. Very quiet on the radio. Pretty much all business for that 3X. As usual. Doesn't say much, just gets out here and makes it happen. Paul Brown running in the 4th position, 4th position. Preston Hassel is in 3rd in the 27 car. Look at Preston Hassel out of the back of his machine at Paul Brown in that 77. So starting to tighten up here a little bit. These guys nose to tail, P2, 3, and 4. Robillard, a little bit of a gap there, back in the 5th position. Now to the front of his machines. These guys starting to get a little racy. Paul Brown looking to go to the high side. He's starting to peek around on the high side as Preston Hassel was leaving that door open. Paul Brown up on the high side here, maybe trying to do a little crossover here on the 27 car. So the 77 down to the bottom line. Can he pull off this pass? He cannot get the bite he needs on the inside, but he almost got him into the back of the 27 car. So Paul Brown here running behind that 27 of Preston Hassel. 27 trying to get by Craig Marizon. Some things heating up here, really for the second position, the 3X. Hold on to that. Givaldo Spindle, I think he's having a little bit of trouble here. Saw some white smoke. Look at that, man. He's burning the right side off there. He's going to have to slow down in that corner entry. Be patient through the turns. And he's going to end up, oh man, he's really sliding that right front. So those right side tires are on fire right now for that 68 car. Running in the 9th position. John Stanley here getting by the 29 of Zach Buncasey and taking over the 6th position. We saw him working on that 29 a little bit earlier, just patient. He backed off and then got by him on the inside line. So the 13 getting through. There was a little bit of contact maybe with Givaldo Spindola. Take a look at the 3X machine. These guys getting through some lap traffic, and Preston Hassel's going to use that opportunity to try to get by on this 3X car. Side by side, the 27 and the 3X. Outside line, pretty fast here. So 27 though, looking pretty good on that inside line. Preston not able to pull off that pass as the 3X holding on to P2. Madiak the leader, and he's got almost a 2-second lead over the 2nd position. Preston Hassel is in 3rd, Brown 4th. Robillard is in 5th. 19 laps in, caution free. Take a look at Christian Wilson here running in the 8th position. He's the last car on the lead lap. We talked about him last season, about how much he's improved. So here we are with a new season, and he's already up there in the point standings. Keep your eye on this 30 car as he just gets better and better. Look at this, Zach Buncasey, 29, getting by Givaldo. Zach running in the 7th position. Preston Hassel here going to the high side. That 27 car. 27 car up on the high side is a 3X. Craig Marizon down on the inside line, side by side here into the turn, and it looks like Preston's going to pull off that pass. So Preston Hassel picking up a spot here, and Paul Brown's going to try his hand at going to the high side. Craig Marizon trapped down there on that low side. Almost some contact between the 77 and the 3X. And Paul Brown's going to pick up a spot. So Craig Marizon lost a couple positions here. Now finds himself back in the 4th spot. You take a look at Craig Marizon running in P4. That battle for the 2nd position heating up here. The 27 got around the 3X, but the 77 followed him through and is on the 27's heels. Marizon not letting these guys run away either. Preston Hassel looking pretty solid here as a 2.9 second gap, 3 second gap actually between he and Colin Madiak. So Madiak leading in the 13 car. Honest Speed Shop sponsor machine. Todd Robillard here in the 90 car, trying to close in on Craig Marizon. About 1.4 seconds separate he and P4. He says he also considers this track his home track. About a little over an hour away, I think. John Stanley, one of our Canadian drivers, running in this 12 car. Got the chrome rims on it tonight. That Die-Hard sponsor machine. Got a pretty good run here in 6th. And Casey running in 7th. Out of 2nd separates Zach Casey and Christian Wilson, who is running in the 8th position. Madiak leading 3.4 second lead over Preston Hassel, just continuing to expand that lead. Hassel 3.5 second gap there. Paul Brown is 5.3 back. Craig Marizon is 6 seconds back in the 4th position. In 5th, 7.7 seconds back is Todd Robillard. Oh, there might have been a little bit of contact for the 13. He might have made some right side contact with the wall. We'll see if that affects that 13 machine. He got pretty far up there off of turn 3. Excuse me, off of turn 2 down the backstretch, and he got up into that backstretch wall. Almost got into it again. So 4.4 second gap for Colin Madiak over Preston Hassel. Everybody's pretty much kind of strung out there. Casey and Wilson pretty tight here as Christian Wilson got 7/10 behind Casey. Take a look at this 30 car out of the front of his machine as he's trying to close in on this 29 car. Oh, Wilson way up the track there as we got some lap traffic there. Givallo down on the inside line, and Christian coming off turn 4 down the front stretch. Getting by that 68 car. 68 gave him a lot of room. He definitely scrubbed off some speed there a little bit. 4/10 back to Zach Casey. He's got a little bit faster car, I think, than Zach Casey. Right now, Zach at 29, maybe handling, a pretty hot right front tire. Oh, Christian Wilson slam on the wall coming off the turn. That is not going to help his effort. So the 30 car making contact with the outside wall. 13 down to the inside, down into the asphalt area of the track. I guess this is an asphalt track. I thought it was concrete, man. It's just really light colored. Maybe I was hoping it was concrete. It's abrasive, that's for sure. And that turn, or those turns, they just seem like they go on forever. Look at this, as Craig Marizon giving up another spot there as Todd Robillard gets by. As now Marizon back to the 5th position. So Todd Robillard picking up a spot. take a look at that replay of that pass. Robillard down to the inside line and getting by Craig Marizon. Marizon not fighting him too hard as a 90 picking up that spot in that Freightliner sponsor machine. So the 3X now back to P5. Robillard in the 90 up to the 4th position. Madiak likes that. He likes what he sees as nobody really challenging him right now, and he's continuing to stretch out that lead. John Stanley indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane here in the 12 car. So we're starting to see some guys making pit stops. The 12, the first one on pit lane. Madiak indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. So Colin Madiak coming down pit lane. Preston Hassel also coming down pit lane. Paul Brown still out there on the track, not making a pit stop yet. Take a look at our side-by-side here as Madiak makes his pit stop. Paul Brown leading the field here in the 77 car. And look at that, man. I'll tell you what,
nope.
That 90 car is all over the back of the 77 car. So the 77 and the 90. 90's really come on here late in this run. Man, he kind of lagged back there in 5th for a while, but this 90 car is starting to show some muscle here as Colin Madiak back out on the track. So the 77 and the 90. P1, P2 staying out a little bit longer here, saving those tires. You see Givaldo in the 68 up on the high side. It's going to go 3 wide in a hurry here. 90 backs off, playing it safe, but he goes to the outside line and he's starting to put pressure here on this 77 car. 77 looks like he might be coming down pit lane here. So Paul Brown in the 77 making pit stop. As the 90, our new race leader, gets some valuable bonus points for leading. Paul Brown on pit lane. Marizon, Munkasey also on pit lane. Robillard still on the track, not making a pit stop yet. It looks like I spoke too soon. The 90 car coming down pit lane here. Zach Munkasey on pit lane as you see Todd Robillard looking for his pit box as the 29 car comes back out on track. Todd Robillard now on pit lane. Colin Madiak in the 13 car back to the race lead. We've been caution free. There's somebody tooting the horn on the track. So Madiak, Hassel, Brown, Robillard, Marizon, the top 5. Madiak has extended that lead after the cycle of pit stops have come through. 10-second lead over our second place car. Paul Brown in the 3rd position. Robillard is in 4th. Bears on 5th. Take a look at those gaps now. Again, we've been caution free here 44 laps in. This guy's just going to start. He gets this winning ways here, and he's just going to rack up wins. And it's going to be hard to stop the 13 car. And Casey picking up a spot there as Wilson on pit lane. Take a look at Givaldo Spindola running in the 9th position. He's had a challenging night, man, but I'll tell you, he comes out early. One of the most dedicated guys out there. Came in and he was in here about an hour and a half or so early, just turning some practice laps. One of our good buddies here and one of our most loyal members here at HORL. And a really nice guy, too. Great to talk to Givaldo. He's also in the chat session, supporting us here at TurnLeftTV, but supporting a high octane racing league, and very nice guy. Couldn't ask for a nicer friend than Givaldo Spindola. See the 90 up on the high side now. Paul Brown down on the inside line as he's letting those guys go, and he's saving his stuff. So the 90 gets by. Also, Craig Marizon gets by. Now the 90 up to the 3rd position. And as strong as he looked on that last run at the very end of the run, you better be worried about this 90 car. He's got some time to make up there on Preston Hassel, who's running in P2. But late in the run, the 90 looking pretty solid. Preston Hassel in the 27 car, having a good night here, running in the 2nd position. Pretty good gap there for him over Marizon. About 7-second gap there to P3, but he's got some work to do if he's going to catch up to that 13 car. Robillard and Marizon tight as Marizon got around Todd Robillard. Take a look at his passes. Marizon going down to the inside line and getting by the 90. He had to fight for it. The 90 may be on a little bit of a tire save strategy there once he got around the 77 car. And Marizon now back up to the 3rd position. Robillard, I'm not sure he's content back there. He's going to go down and look on that low side, drifting high, a little bit different strategy through the corner. As a 90 in P4, see those different strategies. So the 90 using that middle lane through the turn, Marizon dipping down to the bottom lane. Out of the front of Paul Brown's machine. You see that different strategy through the turn for the 3X and the 90. So Paul Brown running in the 5th position in the 77 car. 21 seconds back, and Madiak is absolutely putting on a clinic right now. He's now behind Christian Wilson, trying to put him a lap down. Christian Wilson just ahead. You see those guys drill. Wilson way up the track right there, drifting up the track. Man, he was flirting around with that outside wall. And we've seen him get into the wall as well. My heavens. He's right there, he's making contact with the wall. That car drifting up there as Madiak's got to be careful. It's easy for a car to get off that, bounce off that wall and then get down into a car trying to get by. Madiak now flirting around with the outside line. Scrubbing off a little bit of time here. All the way onto the back of the 30. Oh man, that got interesting. Madiak not able to pull off that pass. Now he's got the room he needs down the front stretch. He's going to be able to clear the 30, and the 30 gives him the room up on the high side. So Madiak now putting Christian Wilson a lap down. It puts Zach Casey as the last car on the lead lap. And he is just behind John Stanley, so it's a little bit of an incentive to get around John Stanley and try to put a little bit of a buffer between you and that lead lap car, the race leader. Stanley's got a pretty good incentive about keeping the 29 car behind him. You see that 29 Toyota. As Colin Madiak starting to close in on these two cars. Racing for position. This is P7, P8. Excuse me, 6th and 7th. They take that back. And McCasey going to the high side is John Stanley trying to hold on to this spot. A little drag race through the turn. Stanley going to win that one, but McCasey, I think, really intent on getting by this number 12 car. Oh man, he almost got into the back of the 12. He had to readjust there. .59 laps in, approaching halfway. This is John Stanley in the 6th position, trying to hold off a charge by the 29. Paul Brown in P5. Pretty quiet there for the 77 car tonight. Take a look at our race leader here, the 13, Madiak, as he's behind P7, P6. He's got a run here. Oh, he almost gets into the back of McCasey. What a heck of a run. McCasey, I think, got into the wall. There's a 13, almost disaster there for him. Now he's wanting to get around John Stanley. Stanley running in the 6th position. Madiak to the high side. Stanley really turning that wheel. You see that front, right front wheel really turning there. So he is really cranking on that steering wheel to try to get this car to turn. Madiak to the inside. Got a heck of a run here coming off the turn. Doesn't have the room he needs on the high side. He's going to dive down to the bottom side here, trying to get around that 12. Almost contact there. John Stanley trying to get back by. Not able to do it as Madiak puts those guys a lap down. Looking out of the back of his machine. McCasey has drifted back up there onto the back of the 12 car. Paul Brown here making some moves. Returning the favor that Todd Robillard paid him in that first run, the 77 with this late run pass. getting around the 90. So now the 77 car up to the 4th position. Zachman Casey says, I've had enough of this. Maybe John Stanley's burned up his tires racing to stay on the lead lap, but they are side by side as the 29 clears the 12 and reclaims that position. So back up to 6th is the 29 car. John Stanley in the 12th position. And that is a big pass right there for Munkasey, because that puts him the first car 1 lap down, as now John Stanley gives that position up. If there is a caution flag, and the way this race is sort of shaken out, it does not look like there will be one. But if there is, Munkasey, it will be in the lucky dog position. Robillard, the last car on the lead lap, here in 5th. He and Paul Brown trying to settle things. Just past halfway. You know this 90 car is good on the long runs. Paul Brown taking a little bit out of that playbook this time. Saving his stuff and making that pass on the 90 car. Craig Marizon out here by himself. 3.4 second gap between he and Preston Hassel, who's running in P2. Marizon's got about a 3.5 second lead over Paul Brown, our P4 car. So kind of out there sandwiched between 2 and 4 is Craig Marizon. Preston Hassel, quiet night for the 27. Running in the 2nd position. He closes in on lap down car, Givaldo Espindola. Givaldo giving him a lot of room, going to the high side. As Preston Hassel looking to get around Givaldo, and he does. So big lead here, about a 15.5 second lead for the 13 car on P2. This guy came out to win this race tonight. Well, each and every time he comes out, he's here to win. There's no doubt about that. Got a big win last week at Lucas Oil and looking to make it 2 in a row. See a big gap there. That is a good battle with Robillard and Brown. Take a look at this this battle here, looking out of the front of Todd Robillard's machine at Paul Brown, and we're following Paul Brown in that top or that left side screenshot, as this is the tightest battle on the track. See, Robillard has a heck of a run here down that straight into the turn. He might use the lap car as a pick. Not able to pull it off. Looks like he might have backed off just a little bit as these guys safely get through. And Paul Brown holds on to that position. Robillard starting to look on the low side. Again, we talked about how good the 90 car is on the long runs. Something's happened to John Stanley. Not sure what went on there. Take a look at this. John Stanley to the inside. They're down on that apron. It looks like he's trying to come down pit lane. John comes down pit lane here, and maybe, not sure what happened. He just retired his machine, I think. John Stanley maybe having some car trouble, some engine trouble or something. A little bit of an earlier pit stop for the 12. Oh, he's changing tires here. Everything okay there, it looks like. And he retires his machine. Well, I don't know what happened to John Stanley, but he's retired his machine. Wow. Colin Matiak coming down pit lane. Now Paul Brown back to the second position as Robillard gets to the front. These guys still battle it out. My heavens, man. Good battle here between Todd Robillard and Paul Brown. This has been off and on, a pretty intense battle, but these guys have raced each other cleanly. Here on lap 77. Todd Robillard leading the field. Paul Brown in second. Colin Matiak is in the third position. I think Colin has made a pit stop. Brown's on pit lane. So Paul Brown in the 77 on pit lane. That leaves the 90 out there in the lead as Matiak closing in. I think Matiak's already made a pit stop here, so he's about ready to reclaim the lead. And Todd has to come down pit lane. So a little strategy playing out here as Matiak on fresher tires, going to make quick work of the 90 car. Looking at the back of the 13 at the 90, you can tell that 90 is on a little bit older tires, should say a lot older tires. As he reclaims the lead. Laps to go, and Matiak is the leader. Robillard still has not made that pit stop here, running in the second position. Preston Hassel running in third, but he and Craig Marizon here having a pretty good battle. Marizon in that 3X machine. So this is for position. This is for P3. Marizon running in the fourth spot in that 3X. 27, Preston Hassel running in the third position. Preston said, "This is my home track, man. I can't let you by." As Marizon looking on the low side, not able to pull off that pass this time. He's closed in on that 27. So great little battle here on the track between the 27 and the 3X machine. Robillard on pit lane. Todd Robillard making a pit stop. He's finished up his pit stop, coming back out on track. 27 down to the inside line, getting around the lap car of Givaldo Spindle as the 3X weaves his way through. A big lead for Madiak. I mean, this guy just absolutely putting a whooping on the field tonight. Preston Hassel's 21 seconds down in the second position. Marizan in third. Good run here for Craig. Looking out of the front of his machine at Preston Hassel. You see him put a little pressure on the 27. He just cannot pick the right spot to get around the 27, not really giving him much on the inside line. And on the inside, you cannot get the bite that you need to get a run to come off and finish up that pass. You almost got to try to do a crossover move, maybe go to the high side, and I think that 27 realizes that the high side is a factor here. You see the 27 a little bit harder into the turn here. Now the 3X down to the inside, going to try to use the bite coming off, and he just cannot get what he needs. So he's going to need that outside line, I think, to be able to pull off this pass. These guys are racing pretty hard. There's a 3X still trying to get by. Take a look at this Zach Bencasey here running in the 6th position. Zach is 1 lap down, so Paul Brown is 1 lap down in the 4th spot. He is the lead car 1 lap down. Hassel, Marizan in 2-3. Madiak, big race lead on these guys. Take a look at the 77 here, running in the 4th position. Robillard running in 5th. So Paul Brown, the first car, 1 lap down. Now he's got every reason in the world now to fight for that spot, hold on to that position. 2 seconds back is Todd Robillard in the 90. And Todd stayed out just a little bit longer than Paul Brown. We'll see how that works out. A 2-second gap there between the 77 and the 90. We're watching our 5th place car. Todd Robillard. And that Freightliner sponsored machine, one of our Rhode Island drivers. Admins our league here on Friday nights. Does a great job. Always a really level-headed guy, you know, never sort of gets bent out of shape, always thinks about both sides, and you know, kind of calmly makes those decisions and conveys those to the drivers. So a very valuable member of the High Octane Racing League. Take a look at this. This is Colin Madiak getting by Christian Wilson. Christian now 2 laps down in the 30 car. 30 laps to go. Preston Hassel still trying to run away from that 3X car, not able to do it. I tell you, I think it's in the best interest of the 3X if he goes to the high side and tries to get around that 27. I'm sure Preston Hassel knows that. The 3X gets a good run through the turn. He just cannot complete the turn. He's starting to sniff around on the high side a little bit. Preston Hassel in the 27, running in the 2nd spot. Good run here for him, really. And these guys are on a little bit different pit strategy, I think, than the 77 and the 90, who are running in 4th and 5th. Looking out of the back of Preston Hassel's machine. See Craig Marizon in the 3X. He is just trying to find every way to get around that 27 car. And the 27 not really leaving him that outdoor or that outside line. Paul Brown is having some battle with the 90 car. Good race here. The 90 on the inside line. It's Paul Brown on the outside line. Maybe a little bit older tires. Sticking it outside line as the 90 gets by. Paul Brown going to try to maybe do that crossover move. No, he tucks in. So Todd Robillard picking up that spot. Go back here to that pass as the 90 gets down below the 77. Drag race down the front stretch into turn 1, and the 90 going to clear that 77 car. Zachman Casey running in the 6th position. Got a fair gap between he and P5, about 13-second gap there before he catches the 5th place car. But Zachman Casey in his first race back in a while, running in the 6th spot in that 29 car. Christian Wilson in the 30, running in the 30 in 7th, 2 laps down. About 9.4 seconds gap separate he and the next car ahead. Christian on fresher tires, maybe closing in on Colin Madiak. And Madiak, our leader. Christian wants to maybe get one of those laps back, get back on the, just one lap down. Madiak might be on some tire safe strategy too. He is really pretty gingerly moving this car around the track. He is full throttle down the straight, so kind of easy through the turns. Expected, what you would expect to see at this track. Being tough on tires, so don't burn those right sides up. He's got a fair gap though. He's just on cruise control right now. Hassel and Marizon have been nose to tail since making that last green flag pit stop. Marizon in that 3X machine still trying to find a way to get by that 27 car. See him starting to move to that high side. Trying the crossover move with the low line. Cannot pull that off. He gets a good run, but he just can't not get the nose underneath the car and pull off the pass. So I think his best bet really is to go to that high side, use that high line. You see it about halfway through the turn, he really dives down to the low line, trying to get a bite coming off, but it just scrubs off speed. 3X car here having a good run in his first race out in a while, running in P3. See him way down below the yellow line there. You see what that did is that gave Hassel an advantage, even more advantage coming off the turn as Preston opened up a small gap there, about a car length on the 3X car. So good race here between the two of these guys. Everybody sort of where they are. You see Givaldo going to the bottom side and letting those guys go. Very, very track aware, race savvy move right there. That's the type of thing, you know, that gets repaid to you. 68, letting those guys go, realizing who's coming up behind him, pulling over to the left and letting those guys go. And I'll tell you what, man, it's all 3X is starting to look here as Preston Hassel comes down pit lane. So that 3X going to take the spot. Preston Hassel making a pit stop here. Lap 104, I suggest you that's going to be his last pit stop. So Craig Marizon picking up that spot. As Preston Hassel on pit lane. Final pit stop, I think. Look at that, Craig Marizon coming down pit lane as well. Matiak on pit lane. He's taking service. So the race leader on pit lane. Finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. Givaldo here in the 68 car. He's seeing those guys make pit stops. We have not had a caution flag. Matiak now back out. Robillard 8 seconds down in the second position. Paul Brown in third, Hassel in fourth, Marizon in the fifth position. Here on lap 106. The 13 just on cruise control. As you know, Robillard has to come down pit lane. Pretty sure that the 90 has to make a pit stop. Take a look at those pit stops there as Robillard and Brown. I don't think they've got enough fuel to be able to make it to the end. I may be wrong about that, but see Matiak's made that third pit stop. Hassel and Marizon both have made that third pit stop. And the rest of those guys on two here so far. Still needing to pit, at least in my opinion they are. Going to come down pit lane. Paul Brown in the 77 car, running in the third position. Preston Hassel is only about 3 seconds back to the 77. Take a look at Preston Hassel. He's opened up that gap on Craig Marizon after making pit stops. So pretty good gap there now between he and Marizon. About a 1.2 second gap between fourth and fifth. Christian Wilson picking up a spot as Zachman Casey on pit lane. You see him on pit lane there. Is now Wilson up to the sixth position. Preston Hassel now closing in on Paul Brown. And Paul Brown may be on that tire save. I mean, he may be on fuel save strategy. I don't think he's got enough fuel to make it to the end, but just don't think that is the case. Be nice if we actually got that energy rebating. That doesn't actually work. It'd almost be cheating if it did. I can see how much fuel they had left. So Paul Brown is really pretty slow. And I think he's trying to save as much fuel as he can. Stretch this out. Knowing that he has to come down pit lane if He's mashing that throttle. He is off the track, so he is coming down pit lane. So the 77 making a pit stop here. Late in this race, the 77 cannot save any more fuel. Made the decision to come down pit lane. Can Robillard make it to the end? He's running in the second position in the 90 car. He's got about 8.2 lead over P3 and Preston Hassel. But Madiak looking to maybe take his second in a row. I don't think he has to come back down pit lane. He's up against the wall there as we're trying to take a screenshot. You put walls on those tracks. This Apollo track. We get a good screenshot there because I think it's pretty much over about the shouting here, as long as there's not a snafu here toward the end. And Robillard make it to the end. We're getting pretty close here. 5 laps to go. Does he have 5 laps of fuel left? Remember, he has only done 2 stops. That may be a move for him that keeps him from dropping back to the 4th position, because Hassel and Marizon have been a little bit faster in the longer runs than, at least in the second half of this race, than the 90. Colin Madiak on cruise control right now. Looking to make it 2 in a row. Robillard in second. Hassel, Marizon battling it out for the 3rd position. And that's a good run there between the 2 of those guys. Hassel there, a little bit of a gap now, and gets by Paul Brown. Actually, Paul is on fresh tires. Getting by the 27, not for position, but Paul now in the 6th spot, and the 27 down to the inside here, but Marizon in that 3X car has got a heck of a run. He's got 2 laps to do it, but right now the 13 car crossing the start-finish line. 1 more lap to go here for the 13. Colin Madiak looking to make it 2 in a row here in the Buschwackers series. Robillard second. Hassel, Marizon 3 and 4. Coming off the final turn, the 13 of Colin Madiak's going to get the race win. I guess we got 1 more lap to go. I got to figure out where I'm at, huh? Let's do it again. It's almost like I've forgotten how to broadcast. Okay, I retire. Had a busy week, man. Had a busy week. Is Colin Madiak getting the win here in the 13 car. So congratulations to Colin Madiak as he gets the win. Todd Robillard finishing in the 2nd position. Preston Hassel. Craig Marizon finishing in 3 and 4. Christian Wilson going to come away with a 5th place finish in that 30 car. So great job to him. Colin Madiak going to get that burnout in. This is always a tricky deal to try to figure out which way I'm going to go on this, huh? As they switch all over the track, and what ends up being going away from the car then goes toward the car. So congratulations to the 13 car and getting the race win. So that was an interesting one, man. Caution free. We'll see if we get the final results here. Final results. Colin Matiak with a big win. Todd Roblard, good run there for him. Fuel save strategy. Preston Hassel finishes in third. Craig Marizon. He and Craig Marizon had a great battle there. For really, probably a good quarter of the race. They were racing there right together. Christian Wilson finishes in fifth. Great job for the 30 car. Paul Brown, late race pit stop, hurt him. Finishing in the sixth position. Zachman Casey finishes in seventh. Finishing in the eighth position is Javaldo Spindola. John Stanley finishes in ninth. That was cruise control there for Matiak. All right, heavens. We'll see if we can't get this lined up here and get Matiak up in the booth with us. So big win here at New Hampshire for the 13 of Colin Matiak. And we'll see if we can't get a word with the 13 car or the driver of the 13 car.
A lot of soul.
All right, I joined up here in the booth with Colin Matiak. Wow, man, I'll tell you what, that was a clinic. Good job, man.
Well, this is Craig. I think you got the wrong person.
Oh, Craig, well, that was a clinic, too. We'll just give you an interview. Hey, good to see you out, Craig.
Yeah, it was fun. I couldn't get by Preston, though.
Well, that was a fun battle to watch. I mean, it looked like I kept wondering that you were going to go to the outside line or continue to try that inside line, but it looks like Preston wasn't giving you the room you needed on the outside.
No, I think I tried about everything. That's some fun close racing, though.
Well, these guys are giving me a bunch of crap down in the TeamSpeak channel for dragging the wrong person up here, but I think it's the right person. But good job, man. Good to see you out tonight, and hopefully we'll see you in more races this season.
Yeah, good to see you again, Heath.
All right, buddy. Hey, okay. Lay off, man.
Got the wrong guy.
Hey, Colin, good job, man. You put on a clinic here today.
Did we get the right guy?
I got the right guy. Yeah, come on.
Okay.
There's two guys right there on the list, actually three guys right there on the list with the C at the beginning of the name, and I just looked down there and grabbed the wrong one. Well, hey, good job, man. Just kept inching away, and like I said, you put on a clinic today.
Yeah, I'm just as confused as everybody else on where the pace came from. I've always liked this track. I felt like I've always had a slight advantage, but I don't know, I was just able to drive the car harder and keep the tires under control. But I just don't really understand where the pace was.
Well, I was hoping you were going to give us some secrets on that, because every time I came out on this track, I burned the right front up pretty quickly.
Yeah, you just gotta smash the brake pedal and keep the wheel as straight as possible until you have to turn. Then you just floor it out of the corner. That's about all I do.
Well, not too much trouble with lap traffic tonight, just trying to make good, clean pit stops, and it was really, all over but the shouting there pretty early on. You got two in a row here in the series, and I know last season, we saw you maybe a couple times. What's the plan for this season? Going to try to race the full schedule, or going to let life get in the way?
I'm going to definitely try to race the full schedule. I only missed last season because I wanted to go to football games for my high school, and I missed one today where we are going to the Final Four in the state tournament, which is pretty crazy, but hopefully I'll be able to continue the rest of the season.
Well, Texas Motor Speedway coming up next week, a different beast altogether, but that one should be a fun one. How do you feel about Texas?
I love Texas, Heath. That's where I've won a few times there in my HORL career, and it's always a track that's suited my driving style very well.
Well, I have a feeling that Paul Brown's going to come there ready to kick some butt too, so you might be battling that 77 car. I think he's pretty tough at Texas.
Yeah. Hopefully we battle till one of us is facing the wrong way.
Oh no. Shots fired. Well, hey, congratulations. Good job to you, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Colin Matiak here joining us in the chat session. We finally got the right guy up here. Well, we got the right guy. I mean, we just made a mistake. We did get a good word from Craig Marizon. It's good to see him tonight. Tough break there for Claudio Bardelli Jr. He had trouble joining the server, so we got to figure out what's going on with that and get those things worked out. But nonetheless, it was a fun race to watch. Caution-free here at New Hampshire. Not exactly what I would have expected, but nonetheless, a fun one to watch. So congratulations to Colin Matiak on getting the win here at New Hampshire. Loudon, the Miracle Mile. We got some more racing headed your way tomorrow night. A new time, an hour earlier. Qualifying starts at 8 p.m. versus 9. Racing at 8:15 p.m. That's race number 1 in the Saturday Night Thunder. The Cup Series at Daytona, an 80-lap race, and that should be a great one. If you want to come out and race with us, we call it Beat the Broadcaster Night. You come on out and beat me, because I'll be getting in the driver's seat to see if I can't maybe pick up a race win at Daytona. Come on out. We'd love to have you. The Discord address right there on the lower part of the banner.
A lot of soul.
Tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you'd like an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. Not only that, but WordPress hosting, online store hosting, VPS hosting, and shared web hosting. That's EliteHostingUSA.com. Thank you so much for coming out here to TurnLeftTV. Had a little interesting night tonight, that's for sure. But hey, thank you for being here. Claudio Bardelli Jr., sorry about your luck here tonight, man. We'll get you worked out and get you in here in the server with us. Very rare that Claudio not able to join the server, so that was a little bit of a shame. One of our regulars here at High Octane Racing League, so we're going to send a shout out to him. He does some racing from his cockpit view as well. If you'd like to check out his channel on YouTube, that's Claudio Bardelli Jr. And again, thanks for coming in. Peace to everybody. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And right there, if you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeftTV, you can click on the link up in the banner of the channel and help me out. Share my videos with all your friends, and come back next week. We got a great one at Texas headed your way. Again, thank you for coming in here to TurnLeftTV. I want to go down and talk to my friends here. Thanks for joining us. And you know what that means. I am out of here.